5 times I fell flat on my face in Bhakti. By Krishna's mercy. Neha bhikram nasho sti pratyavayo na vidyate swa alpam apya asya dharmasya trayate mehato bhayat. Quote, in this endeavour there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 2:40. 1. Potatoes from a mix.
I thought I would step up that week. Someone cancelled at the last moment. They were the ones originally assigned the role of cooking. It was one of those fasting days where we don't eat grains or beans. I whipped together some potatoes. Literally, I took the flakes sold at the supermarket, added some salt, water and butter, and brought it with me. I was really proud of myself, but later on someone asked if these were real potatoes or the instant variety. I felt so embarrassed. I knew I should have put in a better effort. I still hold on to that memory.
2. Forgot the translation.
The guru was visiting the local area. I guess they wanted to test the people who regularly attend the gathering. The guru pointed straight in my direction. They wanted me to translate a particular Sanskrit word. It was mentioned in the verse we were studying that day. Anyway, I went completely blank. I froze. You could say that I choked. I was so embarrassed. I knew what the word meant. I know most of these words. People tell me I am kind of an expert, but just see what my expertise got me.
3. Could not answer a simple question.
All these years, all the engagement, the many times I have repeated the mantra, the many books I have read. With so much experience under my belt, I failed to answer a simple question. A newcomer asked why I did what I did. Why was I reading Bhagavad-gita? Why was I chanting with others in what is known as Sankirtana? I could not answer them properly. Almost stammering, I just said that it was fun. Fun? Is that the best I could come up with? My friends were laughing at me. They thought I was joking or something. Little do they know it was much worse than that.
4. Forgot to take off my shoes.
Listen, I am pretty bad with the rules. There are too many to keep track of. That's why I generally remain silent. Who knows who will get offended by what I say? But that did not save me on this day. We were doing something outside. I failed to notice that everyone had removed their shoes. Here I was, carrying forward with my shoes on. Finally, someone noticed and chastised me in front of everyone. I felt so bad.
5. Accepted the arati before it was ready.
This one lingers in my mind. I thought I was being a good devotee. I was all the way at the front during the arati ceremony. I was worshipping in reverence and gazing upon the deities with fondness and attraction. As soon as the priest was finished, they handed over the lamp to someone at the front. I guess this person thought I needed some service. They showed me the lamp. I immediately put my hands over the fire. Big mistake. This person then turned to someone else. That other person rushed to the scene and took the arati lamp to the back of the room to wave in front of the guru. You see, I had breached protocol. I took the offering for myself way too early. I felt so bad afterwards. I feel so bad to this day. This is what I get for being so eager to show off my service.
It is an interesting phenomenon to witness. Whether someone was universally beloved or made the worst mistakes, since they were in the public eye for so long, there is grace extended. The people offer support, encouragement, and well wishes, as if to almost forget the blemishes. They justify the bad behavior based on the scrutiny involved with being in the public eye. At least the person of prominence is out there. At least they step foot in the arena. At least they were not afraid to fail. There is something to be said about putting in a noble effort. Not everything is guaranteed to succeed. Bhagavad-gita underscores this reality by pointing to the all-important factor known as material nature, prakriti. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvashah ahankar vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Quote, the bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities, which are in actuality carried out by nature. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 3:27. While many may appreciate, it takes only a few stinging words to leave a mark. One harsh rebuke from a respected person, delivered at just the appropriate moment, leads to trauma. It is like the memory itself triggers a negative reflex. The experience was so bad that the individual vows to never try again. They would rather be spared the humiliation. Does the same apply to Bhakti Yoga? The Acharyas of the Vaishnava tradition place purification of the consciousness at the highest priority. As soon as humanly possible, when rational thought begins to guide decisions, the emphasis should be on understanding transcendence. First, realize it. Know how to spot it. Then focus on it. Think about it so much that it turns into second nature. In that way, you will live in transcendence, which keeps you above duality. Shri Bhagavan Uvac Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan Atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthit pragyasta dochyate. Quote, the Blessed Lord said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure, transcendental consciousness. Bhagavad-gita 2:55. But what about the potential for failure? What about the embarrassment? What about the shame associated with failure? We are not talking about learning to ride a bike or swimming a lap at the local pool. This is seeing something which everyone else is otherwise deluded by. This is noticing the singular spark that remains vibrant throughout the changes to the exterior. This is realizing that every instance of life has this same dichotomy between spirit and matter, an ever-changing body covering a never-changing individual. Not so easy to perceive, at least without assistance, guidance, perseverance, and the like. It makes sense that devotees are known to follow in a strong vow, dridha vrata. Yeshantva antagatam papam, jananam punyakarmanam, te dvandva moha nirmukta, bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Quote, persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 7:28. As if anticipating the potential concerns, Sri Krishna gives assurance. He says that there is no loss in the path of yoga. This is not ordinary mysticism. This is yoga, in the sense of linking the individual with the supreme individual, who is Purushottama. There is nothing lost precisely because the object on the other side keeps track. He knows the progress made. He can press a virtual resume button in the next instance. That is to say, if I fail in this lifetime, I can continue in the next one. The above-reviewed stories show some common points of potential failure. If a person can continue on, there is everything to gain. Sometimes there is failure following a lifetime of success. Sometimes the one victory you want the most is the one that eludes you. The Supreme Lord is always watching. He makes the final decision on outcomes, and so the only thing in our control is the effort we put forth, and that effort is always worth it. In closing, what can I really do, weak and helpless too, against this nature to struggle, living in body like a bubble? From the many mistakes made, memory and trauma stayed. But Krishna aware of progress track, always with chance resuming back.